Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be going through my top 10 least favourite playable characters from 2017. So that's a bit of a mouthful. I figured we've gone through the best, we'll go through the worst. Tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, I think I'm probably going to be too busy tomorrow. Might get a video out there, we'll see. But either tomorrow or Saturday, there will be the top 10 non-playable characters of 2017. Now, Spring King, I think, or someone, or whoever, I think, if that's still your name, your username, he put, or she, or, well, he put, am I doing NPCs, and, I think that person responded saying something, but I am going to be doing, NPCs. I know it's not, like, amazing, it's just for fun, really, why we're doing top 10 NPCs and top 10 worst NPCs, but anyway, let's get onto this list. So, yeah, we've got 10 worst ones, and I'm going to be honest, my list is incredibly sexist. I've got more women on my worst than I've got on my best, so, you know. Anyway, first of all, I've got my dishonorable mention. My dishonorable mention goes to Watkins. So the reason I give it to Watkins is honestly he just didn't do very much. I mean, I like him for the fact, the reason he's not any higher is I like the fact that he kind of led his episode tie-in in a little way. I didn't think the episode tie-in was particularly a great pick anyway, and I think personally they could have done something really interesting with Nelson's dad. I've talked about this before with that episode. That episode would have been cool. And maybe Watkins could have been the premium character and that would have been fine, but I've talked about that event before. But Watkins himself as a character isn't particularly that amazing. He's a little bit flat, he doesn't really do much. It's cool to have, I guess, to have like a ESPN kind of parody, but like sports commentator parody character in our town, and I guess that's kind of why he isn't any higher. He's kind of cool, and the fact that he led his kind of episode tie-in, but apart from that, honestly, he was a flat character in The Simpsons, and he's a flat character here. Anyway, number 10. Number 10, I've put Kane, or Stradivarius Kane, or whatever the heck how do you say that word? Hang on, let me go look. But anyway, yeah, I put him. Now, he isn't, like, he's kind of cool looking, and I'll give him that. I'm just going to call him Kane, because I can't say that word, I'm silly. Anyway, yeah, so I've put him in number 10. So number 10, it goes to him. The reason is because, first of all, he's not particularly a great character in The Simpsons, and it's funny because he's a parody. And you know what's, he's a little like a parody character, and it's funny because I gave a parody character the best playable character. I gave Norbert Van Houten best character when he is essentially a parody character. Now, Kane is obviously a parody of James Bond, but I don't know, there's something about it I just didn't like. I don't like the fact that he's he's only in one episode in The Simpsons, so that's not great. They kind of made him the final prize. I didn't like that. I don't think most of his stuff, his quest line, his tasks, don't really interest me that much. I don't know, I just think he's a little bit of a flat parody. He's kind of cool looking, I guess. That's to be honest all I can really give him in terms of, like, he doesn't look like a bland human. I don't, that seems kind of mean to say, but he looks kind of cool because of course he's a parody. But I don't know, I just don't think he was particularly very interesting, and I don't think he was a great final prize. I think it was like Act 3 he was a final prize. That was pretty awful. Like, Agent Bond is way cooler than him. So I don't know, I'm putting him as number 10. Sue me. No, him is number 10. So yeah, I mean, that's it. But I'm not putting him any higher on this list. Number 9, I'm putting Quinn Hopper. I kind of feel a bit mean putting Quinn Hopper there. I just found her boring, to be honest. That's the only reason she's on here. I just didn't really find her particularly very entertaining. I've never watched the episode she was from, and she's only been in one episode. But personally, I just don't particularly think she's that entertaining, and I just kind of thought she was a bit boring, and she didn't really bring much to the event. Like, she's not an incredibly interesting character. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of episodes that I haven't seen, like characters I haven't seen who I think are cool in Tapped Out. You know, there's loads of characters in Tapped Out that I've not actually seen them in an episode, or I've vaguely seen them in an episode, and I really like them as a character. Like Death, I haven't seen an episode with Death. Well, I saw I think I saw like a clip of when like Death revealed he's actually Homer's mother or something. But apart from that, I haven't actually seen Death. But I really like Death as a character in the thing. I haven't seen an episode with Death, so yeah, that's Quinn. Anyway, number 8, I've put Jack Frost. Now I went in depth why I don't like Jack Frost that much in my top 10 worst Christmas characters. So if you want to see an in-depth thing, but I feel like I've talked about why I hate Jack Frost quite a few times, so I'm going to keep it short. So Jack Frost, I just don't like how he campily walks around. I don't like his task line or quest line. I think it's quite boring and bland. I didn't like... I hate the building he comes with, and I know that's a bad reason to put him on the list, but I hate the building he comes with. Again, if you want to see in-depth why I hate Jack Frost, please go look at those videos if you haven't watched them already. But if not, you've probably heard me explain why I hate Jack Frost a few times, so I'll leave it here, and we'll get to number 7. Number 7, I have put... Axochilter or Oxchilter or whatever the heck you say her name. I don't know. I've put it on like Google Translate and I've like a text to speech thing and I've played it and it. I don't know how you say that. Somebody needs to tell me how you say that, but I don't really know. Honestly, isn't really much. Again, it comes down to just a boring character, and it's really weird because I'm going to be honest. There's quite a few Destination Springfield characters on here, which. It's kind of bad because I did say it was the best event, but there is actually 3 Destination Springfield characters on this list. So, yeah, that's kind of bad. But, yeah, Exochilter. I mean, yeah, she's just kind of boring, and I just don't think she really did much for me. So, yeah, she was just kind of bland, and I just didn't particularly like her. So, anyway, moving on. So number 6 goes to Mozart. So, yeah, I put Mozart here. Reason being, didn't like anything he really did. I think most of the stuff he did was kind of, most of the tasks and stuff and quest lines are kind of boring. Second of all, I wanted this to be a costume. And the reason I want it to be a costume is it looks identical to Bart, and it's like, and I know it is a different person. Technically, this is Mozart. When we watch the episode, that is actually Mozart. I get that. I still think it should be a costume. The only times I think it shouldn't be a costume is when we see Bart and that person in the same scene. That's when I want it to be a different character. Like Hugo, for example. I want Hugo to be a different character. I don't want it to be a skin because yeah, they're a different character and we see them interact with each other. That's why I want Hugo to be a different character. But they look quite similar, apart from Hugo is deformed. Like that, for example. But Mozart and Bart, they don't appear in the same scene. We don't see a scene with Mozart and Bart in the same scene, so I don't think they should be the same character. That's how I feel in terms of like, okay, this is a different person, but are you sure you want to? No, I don't want it to be a different. Like, there's a few exceptions, I guess. Like for example, the Simpsons that we see. Like, actually, no. Even that, I'm just gonna say like the Simpsons that are slave, like the slave Simpsons. I say the slave Simpsons, that's so bad. The 19th century Simpsons, if you will, or the 18th century Simpsons, the ones where they had the slave, they had Vigil the slave, and they freed him, and then he actually turns out to be like their great granddad or whatever. Even that, I think they should add him as a character, but where it's like Hiram and the Mabel, I think Hiram and Mabel, who are like Marge, look identical to Marge and Homer. Like, I just think they should be costumes as well. I don't even care. Like, so this is what I mean. I just don't like it when they do that, and that's why this is number 6. Number 5 goes to Amber Dempsey. Boring character. It comes down to boring character. Didn't really do much. Definitely not worth 150 donuts. Absolutely ridiculous price for that. I mean, the building's cool. I'll give it that. She comes with a really cool building. But the character itself is just very bland. Doesn't really do much. Didn't see the episode she was from. Don't think it matters. Think I've concluded what I feel about this character. Don't care about her. Anyway, number 4. Number 4 comes on to another one of these horrible things that really should be a costume, and it goes to Caveman Mo. Caveman Mo, again, should be a costume. No reason why it's not a costume. That's why it's number 4. Yeah, I mean, not really much more I can say about that. I mean, nothing in it is that interesting. I guess it's got voice. That's kind of interesting, I guess. But apart from that, I just don't like that it's its own character. I don't think it should really be on its own. And overall, it wasn't particularly very interesting anyway. It was just kind of thrown in there. It wasn't really that interesting. Number 3, so the top 3 now, and this is so bad because all of these come from the same period. Number 3 goes to the Vicious Monkeys. So the reason it goes to the Vicious Monkeys is they should be non-playable. The fact that they've got tasks is bizarre to me. Like, I don't understand why they thought these characters needed tasks. They should just be non-playables. And it's kind of weird because they already had Tiago and they had Ronaldo, who I think are okay characters. They're not amazing, but they're okay characters. They already had those two, and they were pretty strong in the Brazilian act. The Brazilian act. I guess that's in the Brazil act. They were like the best. They were two pretty solid characters. And then they had to add in Exochilter and the Vicious Monkeys, and I think both Exochilter and the Vicious Monkeys are bad. Like honestly, it would have been stable enough if they just removed those characters. To be honest, I still probably would have loved Destination Springfield as much. I don't even care. Like, this is the thing. Like, I know that there was some bad characters in Destination Springfield. I am well aware of that, and yeah, that's true. There is some pretty crappy characters like Exochilter and Vicious Monkeys. I'm aware of that, but I still think the event itself is really solid. It's more the structure of the event more than anything, and it was just so refreshing at the time. But yeah, the Vicious Monkeys, I think, they are pretty crappy. They really shouldn't. Like, I guess some of the stuff they can do is cool and their tasks, but they shouldn't be playable characters. It's silly how they're playable characters. And then what annoys me even more is these guys are playable. Some stupid friggin' monkeys that appeared in one episode, they're playable, and Snowball 2 isn't. Like, get out. Like, come on. Give Snowball 2 tasks. I think we should make a hashtag on Twitter. I want this to be trending. Hashtag give Snowball 2 tasks. Make that trending, please. And anyway, number 2. No, I'm serious about this. I'm going to put it on Twitter, and I want it to be trending. And number two, I have put my girl Diabetic. I put Diabetic. I mean, it comes from the same period again. This is Valentine's Day, and the reason I don't like Diabetic is, why is she a Valentine's Day? I don't understand why. First of all, why she's a Valentine's Day prize. Or Valentine's Day deal. I don't really get that. Why she's a Valentine's Day character. Because she shouldn't be. It's weird. Like, she's this fat, overweight, friggin' incestuous woman. I don't know if she's quite incestuous, but she belongs to a family that's incestuous, so that's clues enough to me. And yes, she's a stereotype. She's this kind of stereotype of the Southern American. I get that. She's meant to be this funny stereotype of like the fat, lazy Southern kind of American. But still, I don't like her. I think she's obviously grossly overweight, and that's kind of a bit like, she just looks disgusting, let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. She looks disgusting, and I don't even see why she's a Valentine's Day. Why is she a Valentine's Day character? I don't get that. I still don't get it. I really don't get it, because it's not even like she has a partner. She doesn't. Like, Sarah Wiggum is, let's be honest, a little bit fat. Let's add Sarah Wiggum in. Hey, I'm fine with, adding fat people in. It does nothing to do with that, but it's like, I really think Sarah Wiggum would have been a good choice. Diabetic doesn't make sense to me as a choice, because she doesn't even have a partner. She doesn't even have a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or anything. She's just on her own, and she's just in this sad life where she loves food. Valentine's Day is not about loving food. It's about loving one another, or loving your partner or your love or whatever. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, Diabetic, I just think is a really, really crappy character, but not as bad as my number 1. So can we have that drum roll? And of course, it goes to the tourists. So yes, I've given it to the tourists because I hate those foreigners. No, I hate the tourists. And of course, this is reflected on the public vote. I was the one who, if you didn't know, I was the one who put forward the tourists as worst character, and then they were, of course, voted. Like, I had first pick anyway, so I'm not saying, like, those guys were wrong and I was right. The public hate the tourists. No. I put the tourists up as worst playable character because I just don't think they should be playable. Like, I'm all for them adding the tourists in as essentially decorations, NPCs. That's fine. I like when they do that, because I figure if you're gonna have a tappable NPC that's going to be interactive in the event, you may as well just add them in after the event's over, because it's not going to be any hassle for you to design them. You're going to have to design an unlock screen, and that's it. That's all the Tap Tap team really have to do, because in terms of and then make them permanent in the game. And I'm fine with that, and I want that, but they shouldn't have tasks. The tourists are a prime example of something that shouldn't have tasks, and it's not even that. It's the fact they're not even acknowledged in the character collection. And I really do want to do a video where I fix the character collection. It's just impossible. I've tried a few times to do it, and I was gonna possibly do it with a Nuclear Video HD as well, but possibly. But I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna even bother with that video anymore. But I do want to try and do that video maybe in the future. It's just gonna be incredibly hard for me to actually create the artwork and stuff, because I don't really have time, and it's gonna be kind of difficult because I'm gonna have to go through each one, because I want to have a solution to the character collection, because the character collection annoys me so much. These tourists aren't in the character collection. Why? They're characters. They are characters. They're playable characters. Why aren't they in the collection? It just doesn't make sense to me. And even if they weren't playable characters, even if they were NPCs, they should still be in the collection. I don't understand what's wrong with the character collection. Like, when they first started the character collection, like, it didn't include costumes. Now it includes costumes. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent, but yeah. I don't like the tourists. And it's like, well, don't you like the vicious monkeys? Like, there's 3 of them at least, so maybe the vicious monkeys are above them? No, I mean, I can tolerate the vicious monkeys more than the tourists. And it's like, well, you can make the argument, well, the tourists, they're just there, like, you can see them in their Japan stuff and their Springfield stuff and their French stuff, and you can see them in their, yeah, that's fine. Make it so the tappable thing, so when you tap them, they change their country. So they go Springfield, you tap them, doop, they go to Japan. You tap them again, doop, France. You tap them again, doop, Brazil. You tap them again, doop, back to Springfield. That's it. That's all they needed to do. It was as simple as that. But they had to give them tasks and just make them, like, I don't know. And I guess maybe I'm getting kind of worked up over nothing, maybe, I don't know, but that's who I think is the worst character, and the public agreed with me, so sue me. Anyway, no, but I really do want to hear your guys' views. I do love it when you actually take the time and effort to give me your top 10. I really do appreciate it, because it means that you obviously have made it to the end of this video, and also that you want to debate me, and I like it when people debate me and people have a completely different list to mine. Hell, I would love it if you have a list that has all my favourites as your worst. That would be awesome, but apart from that, no. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.